Hello, and thank you for checking out this video. My sincere hope is that after watching this video, you'll be better off than you were before you did. Okay, let's get started. Imagine that you're sitting down at a table and there are two drinks in front of you, and you have to choose one to drink. One is filled with cool, clean, refreshing water, and the other is filled with poison. We face this decision often in our thoughts, which in turn affects how we feel and act. In this video, we're going to go over how to recognize when we're reaching for the poison, so to speak, to stop ourselves, and to instead reach for the water. The first poison that we're going to talk about is self-pity. Do not drink this poison, or it will drain your strength from you. What exactly is self-pity? To sum it up, self-pity is when we dwell on what has gone wrong, our bad luck, how someone has hurt us, how our situation is bad. Basically, how we're victims. Do not drink the poison of thinking about yourself as a victim. It will surely make you weaker. Now, we're only human. We're not robots. So it's only natural for our knee-jerk reaction to be disappointment when life doesn't go our way. For example, if you find out that you didn't get that job you were hoping for, it's only natural to be disappointed. But here's the key. Don't dwell on it. Acknowledge what you're feeling and then say something positive to yourself. For example, you could say, I'm disappointed that I didn't get that job, but I know something even better is around the corner. Even when the disappointment is fresh. In fact, especially when it's fresh, you must speak positive words to yourself, despite how you're feeling. The initial emotion of disappointment will fade in time, and you will feel confident and joyful because of the positive words that you spoke. Those positive words will help a bit initially, but tremendously as time goes on. Think about the positive words you tell yourself when you're feeling down as planting seeds that will bear good fruit. Stay positive in your thoughts and words, and I promise you, you will get your zest back. It's worth mentioning that at a time like that, your mind will try to play tricks on you. In the previous example, your mind will try to tell you that that was it. That was the opportunity of a lifetime. You'll never get something as good as that again. But please recognize that's a lie. 100% a lie. In time, you will get plenty of other opportunities as long as you're drinking the water and not the poison. You may have had some bad breaks, but here's the deal. No good will ever come from dwelling on those bad breaks. You can tell the bus driver all about it, but you'll still need $2 to ride. Dwelling on it will never, ever benefit you. Self-pity is a poison that will only harm you. Again, it's healthy to acknowledge disappointment or when things don't go our way. We always want to be realistic. So acknowledge it, accept it, and stay positive. Pay attention to your thoughts. Do they keep playing reruns of a story about how the world has done you wrong? If so, just recognizing that is enormous. And now you know what to do about it. You control your thoughts. So contradict that tired old story and reprogram your mind with thoughts of victory. The bottom line is that it's practical. If you accept your bad breaks but move on and persevere, you cannot be stopped. However, if you dwell on your misfortune, I guarantee you that your potential will be stunted. The second poison is resentment. Resentment is a bitter feeling caused by being treated unfairly by another person, your company, or life in general, just to name a few potential sources. Now, I'm not saying that you haven't been treated unfairly, but what I am telling you is that holding on to resentment is like drinking poison, and you have two choices. You can keep resenting that person, or your company, or your situation, or whatever it may be, and drink the poison. Or you can let it go and drink that clean, pure, refreshing water. The best way to let go of resenting someone is to pray for the person who mistreated you, as Christ said to do. For me personally, this was the hardest thing to do of all the things that Christ said to do, and for years I wouldn't. For years I drank the poison. But if someone as stubborn as me can come around to the fact that it's healthier to let go, you can too. Do it for yourself. Do it so that you live life more fully. Pray for that person and wish them well in your heart. I promise you it works. And I promise you that the extra weight you've been lugging around called resentment will eventually disappear, and you will have newfound energy. If it's your situation you're resentful of, let's say you feel like you're being treated unfairly at your job, you still must let go of resentment. Be grateful that you have a job when many others don't. But in the meantime, do something about it. Work toward getting a better job. It will probably be difficult and take time. But do you really want to stay in a job where you dread work? Every day is precious. Don't live another day letting resentment suck the life out of you. Don't drink the poison. The third and final poison that we're going to go over is the poison of comparing yourself to other people. No good will ever come from this. It's an unhealthy and exhausting way to live to always be comparing yourself to other people. Now, people who compare themselves to others get their self-worth from what they do, how they look, how many followers they have on social media, etc. But please realize that you have worth because of who you truly are, not for how good you are at basketball, the color of your hair, or your Instagram account. As an example, let's say that you have 1,000 followers on Instagram, but then a friend comes along and tells you she just got her 2,000th follower. If you're in the habit of comparing yourself to others, then you'll drink the poison and feel depressed, because you'll confuse having less followers with being worth less than your friend as a person. But if you know the truth that you have worth for who you are and nothing can change that, then you will not be affected in a negative way by it. Now, there is a healthy way to look at that situation, which is to know that who you truly are is not affected because you don't get your value based on followers. But you can be inspired by your friend. How did she get so many followers? You have a conversation with her, get some good ideas, and you're energized and ready to enhance your account. One last thing that's worth noting about comparing: you must also refrain from getting your worth from comparing yourself to others, even when you're better at something than someone else. If you do this, it'll feed your ego and you'll feel good temporarily, but it won't last and it will ultimately end in suffering. After all, the vast majority of suffering is from the ego, so don't feed it. It boils down to this: you may be better at something than someone else, say soccer, and that's fine, but you're not better than that other person. You're just better than him at soccer. So next time you're tempted to compare yourself to someone else, don't do it. No ifs, ands, or buts. Never. But just this one time, no. No, do not do it. Don't let your mind trick you into saying just this one time, nothing. Do not do it. Never. Don't drink that poison. Remember, we can be inspired by others, but do not compare. I made this video because for many years I drank the poison in my thoughts, and it caused a lot of unnecessary pain. My sincere hope is that you learn something and put it into action, and that you don't drink the poison. It really is up to you to put these principles into action. It does no good if you don't, but it will do you a world of good if you do. Say no to self-pity, resentment, and comparing. God bless you.